I felt the vibration before I heard the sound, my phone rattling sharply on the kitchen counter, like it was flinching from something ugly. I wiped my hands on a dish towel and reached for it, expecting a random notification or maybe a work email. Instead, the screen lit up with a single message in the family group chat. A long gray bubble. A sentence that punched the air out of my lungs before I could even finish reading it. We need distance from you. Please stop contacting us completely. For a moment, everything around me stilled. The warmth from the stovetop faded. The faint hum of the refrigerator dissolved. The world tunneled into that message, cold, deliberate, final. My throat tightened and instinctively, stupidly, I scrolled upward to see if I'd missed something. A warning. A hint. A signal that this exile was coming. Nothing. Just that. My fingers trembled as I typed, what? Why? But I didn't send it. Something inside me, the same part that had learned to read between their sighs and silences, whispered that I wouldn't get an answer. Still, I stared at the screen until the words blurred. My mother, my father, my sister, my brother, all of them silent. Online but silent. Watching. Waiting for me to just vanish. A faint ringing filled my ears. My knees felt weak, and I gripped the counter edge to steady myself. Distance. From me? For what? My chest hurt, physically hurt, as if someone had reached a hand inside and pulled at something essential, something that kept me tethered to them. I'd been on the receiving end of coldness, judgment, even subtle cruelty, but exile? A full cut-off? No. Something was wrong. And beneath the shock, beneath the confusion that swirled through me like smoke, a darker emotion stirred. An unease I recognized but didn't want to acknowledge. They weren't doing this for nothing. Someone had planted something. Someone had poisoned something. Someone had lied. But who? And what? I didn't cry. Not yet. The betrayal hadn't taken its full shape. That would come later. When the truth surfaced. When the person I trusted most twisted the knife. I staggered toward the table and sat down, clutching the phone like it might start explaining itself. My pulse hammered as I searched for any sign, any clue of what the hell had just happened. And then out of nowhere another message popped up. From my sister, Maya. Not in the family chat. Privately. Don't take it personally. It's just better this way for everyone. Better for everyone. Not me. Everyone. My stomach rolled. Maya didn't say things like that. At least not openly. She was always the polished one, the peacemaker, the favorite, the golden child. The one whose smile made people forget she'd drawn blood minutes earlier. Before I could reply, 3 dots appeared, her typing. Then stopped. Then started again. Stopped again. Like she was fighting with herself. Or deciding how far she wanted to go. Finally, a short message landed. I can't talk about this. Just respect what we need. A spike of cold anger shot up my spine. Respect what they need. What she needs. She was lying. She was hiding something. And for the first time, I wondered if she had finally found a way to push me out entirely. I got up and grabbed my coat. If they wouldn't talk through text, they'd talk in person. I didn't care what line they thought they'd drawn. I wasn't done. Outside, the winter wind slapped hard against my face, making my eyes water. Not that it mattered. Maybe the cold was doing the crying for me. I walked quickly, my boots crunching through thin frost, my breath visible in sharp, angry bursts. The streets were quiet. Almost too quiet for how chaotic my mind felt. Every step carried a different emotion, confusion, disbelief, hurt, anger, fear. They layered inside me like shards of broken glass. What did I do wrong? What did they think I did? Who said what? My thoughts kept circling back to Maya. Last week, she'd been unusually distant. Short replies. Strange pauses on the phone. A tightness around her smile when she'd visited. At the time I thought she was stressed at work. Or tired. Or maybe annoyed by one of my questions she didn't like. I had no idea she was sharpening something behind my back. My parents' house wasn't far. A 20-minute walk if I pushed through the cold. When I reached the familiar front door, warm light glowed through the curtains. For a moment I imagined knocking, stepping inside, hearing my mother's voice, acting normal, pretending nothing was broken. But when I reached for the handle I froze. Voices. Muffled but clear enough. They were talking inside. All of them. About me. I leaned closer, the cold wood pressing against my ear. She'll figure it out eventually. my mother's voice whispered, tight with tension. My heart lurched. Figure what out? My father exhaled heavily. We should have told her outright. This indirect approach isn't right. Indirect approach? Maya's voice cut through like a blade. Smooth, decisive, trembling ever so slightly. No. Telling her would destroy everything. It's better this way. She can't know. A hot wave of nausea rolled up my throat. Know what? My breath hitched, fogging the air. Then another voice entered. Unexpected, low, familiar in a way that tightened every muscle in my body. Daniel. My boyfriend. Inside my parents' house. Without me. My fingers went numb. He sounded anxious. Are you sure she won't come by? This feels wrong. Maya answered instantly. Too quickly. She won't. She knows when she's not wanted. My pulse roared in my ears. Wanted. As if I was something they could all collectively discard. Daniel sighed. But lying to her. You're doing what you have to, Maya snapped. You already made your choice the night you came to me. Don't back out now. The night you came to me. My vision wavered. My legs shook. My fingers scraped against the doorframe as I forced myself not to collapse. Daniel. Maya. A choice. A night. My family telling me to stop contacting them. My sister telling me to not take it personally. Oh God. The truth hit me so hard it felt physical. My boyfriend had slept with my sister. My family knew. They took her side. And exiled me instead of confronting her. Instead of confronting him. My chest felt like shards grinding together each time I breathed. That betrayal alone would have shattered me. But there was another silence forming on the other side of the door. A pregnant pause. A breath held too long. Daniel spoke again, voice cracking. We should just tell her the truth about the baby. 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 The word tore through me like a serrated edge. I staggered back from the door. A sharp inhale breaking free from my throat. My vision pulsed, darkened, blurred. Pregnant. She was pregnant. With Daniel's child. My family knew. They were protecting her. Cold shot through my veins. My mother's voice lowered to a trembling hush. We will handle the announcement in the right way. She'll move on. She's strong. Strong. As if I were some admirable casualty of their moral cowardice. My knee buckled. My hand caught the wall before I hit the ground. My breath came in short, ragged bursts, each one cutting like glass. My face burned, then chilled, then burned again. They weren't just pushing me away. They were removing me from their narrative. Replacing me. Discarding me. Daniel murmured. I never meant for this to happen. Maya's tone sliced through him. But it did. And you chose me. So stop acting guilty. Guilty. If they kept talking, I would break. If I stayed here a second longer, I would scream, cry, shatter, collapse. So I ran. I didn't look back. I didn't breathe properly. I didn't feel the cold or the wind or the ground beneath my feet. All I felt was the truth tearing something primal inside me. By the time I reached my apartment, my hands were shaking so violently I could barely lock the door. I sank to the floor, pressing my palms to my face as sobs tore free from the depths of my chest. I cried until my throat was raw, until my eyes burned, until my voice dissolved into nothing. Then eventually the crying stopped. Something colder took its place. A stillness. A clarity. A quiet simmering rage. Not impulsive anger. No. Something slower. Sharper. Smarter. They wanted distance. They would get it. But not the way they expected. They thought they had written me out of their story. They had no idea. I was about to write the ending. For all of them. I didn't sleep that night. Not for a minute. Not after hearing the truth through that door. My boyfriend's betrayal, my sister's triumph, my family's complicity, the baby, the lies, the exile. It all churned through me like a storm I couldn't escape. By morning, the numbness had settled into my bones. It felt almost clarifying. I moved through the apartment slowly, deliberately, pulling myself together piece by piece. Washing my face. Running my fingers through my hair. Choosing clothes I didn't recognize myself in, dark, sleek, controlled. I wasn't dressing to impress. I was dressing to confront. But not with tears. Not with begging. Not with the devastated, apologetic girl they expected. No. I was done being the soft one. My family home was the epicenter of the betrayal. But the real thread, the real unraveling began with Daniel. He was the one I needed to face first. I waited until the afternoon, until the gray winter sky dimmed just enough to turn everything flat and colorless. It matched the way I felt inside. Then I drove to his apartment, my fingers gripping the wheel with a steadiness that surprised even me. When I knocked, he opened the door almost instantly, as if he'd been pacing in anticipation. His eyes widened when he saw my face. Cold, expressionless, unreadable. "Hey, I didn't expect. Let me in." He stepped aside without a word. Once inside, I noticed everything I had once found comforting. The soft lighting, the framed photos, the faint vanilla scent of the candles he loved. Now it all felt sickeningly curated. A backdrop to lies. He swallowed hard. "I guess you heard from your family." I stared at him. He couldn't meet my eyes. Pathetic. "I heard more than you think," I said quietly. His face paled. I didn't want you to find out like." "Stop. Just one word." He froze. I walked past him and sat on the edge of his couch, folding my hands calmly in my lap. My heart was beating like a drum, but I didn't let it show. "Tell me everything," I said. "All of it. Without lying. Because I'll know if you lie." He hesitated. "Coward." Then he exhaled shakily and began. The story spilled out in jerky pieces. The drinking. The late-night argument we'd had months ago. Maya visiting him the next day to check on him. One moment turning into another. Then another. Then a night neither could take back. Then multiple nights. And then the baby. A life created from betrayal. My stomach twisted, but I didn't show it. I sat stone still, watching him unravel. When he finished, his eyes glistened with remorse or maybe self-pity. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I swear. I didn't think it would go this far." My jaw tightened. "But it did." He nodded, tears slipping down his face. "I'm so sorry." I stood. He reached out, desperate, clinging to the last thread he thought he had. "Please. I still love you." A laugh escaped me, sharp and humorless. "Love? Daniel, you don't even respect me." He flinched. I stepped closer, my voice steady. "You betrayed me. My sister betrayed me. My family protected the two of you. And you thought I'd just disappear quietly." His throat bobbed. "You're scaring me." "Good," I whispered. Before he could respond, I pulled out a folded piece of paper from my coat pocket and placed it on his table. His confused expression deepened. "What is this?" "Closure." He opened it. His breath caught in his throat. It was proof, screenshots, timestamps, recordings I had captured outside my parents' house. The very moment they all confessed to the truth while believing I wasn't listening. Every word, every admission, every cruelty. And beside it, the draft of a message I had prepared for Maya. And for my parents. And for everyone who needed to see it. Their perfect little secret was about to explode. Daniel's voice trembled. You're not sending this." I met his eyes. "I haven't decided. Yet." He sank into the couch, burying his face in his hands, the realization hitting him like a truck. He had lost control. But I wasn't finished. My voice softened, not with pity but with truth. "Daniel, you could have told me. You could have ended things before betraying me. You could have faced me honestly. Instead, you let my family exile me while you hid behind them." He looked up, broken. "What do you want me to do?" "Live with it," I said. "Every day. Knowing what you destroyed." I walked out before he could say another word. Outside, the cold air felt cleaner than his apartment. Sharper. Like it was cutting away the last threads tying me to him. But one betrayal remained. The deepest one. Maya. And I wasn't running from it. I drove back to my parents' house. This time without hesitation. Their cars were all still in the driveway. They were still gathered. Still keeping secrets. Still shaping their perfect little narrative. Good. I wanted them all in one place. The moment I stepped onto the porch, I took a deep breath and rang the doorbell. Footsteps approached. The door opened. My mother's face drained of color when she saw me. You shouldn't be here." "What a coincidence," I said calmly. "I feel the same way about all of you." She stuttered something unintelligible, but I stepped past her. I walked straight into the living room, where my father, my brother, and Maya stood frozen. Maya's hand instinctively moved to her stomach. She was showing subtly but undeniably showing. Her eyes widened as she realized I knew. "Why are you here?" she whispered. I tilted my head. "To give you all what you asked for." They exchanged confused glances. My father cleared his throat. "We didn't want things to escalate." I cut him off. "They already did." Silence. You could hear the heater humming, the faint ticking of the kitchen clock, the shallow breaths around me. Finally, I reached into my coat pocket again. I pulled out 4 identical envelopes, one for each of them. I placed them on the coffee table, their names written in my cleanest, coldest handwriting. "What is this?" Maya demanded, her voice shaking. "Truth," I said. "The truth I wasn't supposed to know. The truth you all lied about." My brother swallowed. "You were never meant to hear that conversation." "I did," I said. "And I heard much more." They froze. Maya stepped forward, her lips trembling. "Look, I'm sorry you found out that way, but you weren't going to tell me at all," I said. "You were going to erase me. You were going to celebrate a baby created behind my back, while pretending I never existed." Her chin lifted. Defensive. Guilty. Angry. "It just happened, okay? People make mistakes." "So can I," I said softly. My father stepped protectively near Maya, glaring at me with disappointment, as if I had wronged them. "You won't ruin this family over one mistake." "One mistake." My voice rose for the first time. "One mistake? You all banished me, lied to me, protected them, called me a problem, cut me out like I was disposable." The room shook with tension. I pointed to the envelopes. "Inside those are copies of what I heard. Every word. Every admission. Every detail you didn't want anyone to know." Maya's face drained. "You wouldn't." "I didn't send it yet," I said. "But I could. To extended family. To friends. To everyone who believes this family is built on something solid." My mother gasped. "You're threatening us?" "No," I said with chilling calm. "I'm promising you that I won't be your silent casualty." For a moment no one moved. Then something unexpected happened. Maya sat down. Hard. Tears filled her eyes, spilling over as she clutched her stomach. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she whispered. "But when the test was positive, I panicked. I knew Daniel wouldn't leave you unless I told him the baby was his." My heart stopped. Was his? Her choice of words tightened the air. "Unless," I repeated. She broke. "The baby might not be his." My mother covered her mouth. My father cursed. Daniel had no idea. The room tilted. "You're not sure?" I asked, ice flooding my veins. She shook her head, sobbing. "I don't know. My family had exiled me. For a lie. That wasn't even confirmed." The rage that surged through me was cold, precise, surgical. "You let them choose him," I whispered. "Over their own daughter, for a baby that might not even be his?" She nodded, crying harder. I closed my eyes. And in that moment, something inside me unclenched. Not forgiveness, not understanding, but clarity. They weren't monsters. They were cowards. Broken people making broken choices to protect a fragile illusion of family. And I was done being part of it. I opened my eyes and stepped back. "You all wanted distance," I said, voice steady. "Now you'll have it. For real. Permanently." My mother cried. "Please don't send anything." "I won't," I said quietly. Relief washed through their faces too quickly. "But I'm done with this family," I added. "For my own sanity. For my survival. For everything you tried to take from me." My father swallowed. "Where will you go?" "Away from here," I said. "Away from you. Away from lies." Maya sobbed harder. "I'm sorry." "No," I said. "You're not. But you will be." I turned and walked out. No one tried to stop me. The cold air outside hit me like freedom, crisp and sharp. I didn't look back. I didn't need revenge anymore. Leaving them with their own choices, their own guilt, their own secrets, their own decay, was the deepest revenge of all. When I reached my car, I looked at the envelopes still in my pocket. Copies of everything. Not to expose them, but to remind myself of what I survived. I slid into the driver's seat, closed the door, and let out a long, trembling breath. For the first time in a long time, I felt free.